Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
You can now become a member of the Print YouTube community. There is a link given below in the description box which you can click, pay a little bit and become a member. We have very special perks and benefits waiting for you. From the Pegasus spyware scandal to farmers' issues to COVID mismanagement, the Congress is flitting from one issue to another to corner the Modi government, to target the Modi government in the current session of Parliament. This betrays what has now become a big problem, in fact a core problem for the Congress party. The inability to identify an issue which can stick, which can hurt Narendra Modi and which can actually dent the Bharatiya Janata Party. In fact, this has been a perennial problem for the Congress ever since Narendra Modi rose in the national scene from the end of 2013. The party has tried several tricks. It has tried from slogans like Sood Boot Ki Sarkar, Chaukidar Chor Hai, Modi's crocodile tears, to forging a lot of different alliances, and yet nothing seems to have worked for the Congress. Essentially, in an era like this, when you have a strong Prime Minister, when you have a powerful Prime Minister like Narendra Modi, you either need a formidable face to take him on, or you need a very, very important issue that sticks, that resonates with the people on the ground and that can hurt Narendra Modi. Unfortunately for the Congress, while it falls in the former category of not having a leader at the national level, it also falls in the latter category, which is the inability to be able to identify such an issue. This is a formula that state leaders like Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal have been able to crack, but unfortunately for the Congress, it hasn't been able to do so. Let's just rewind a little bit, look at how the Congress has functioned since 2014. Now, the first big jibe that the Congress coined for Narendra Modi after his win in 2014 was the Sood Boot Ki Sarkar jibe. Now, to be fair, that worked to the extent that it did sort of perhaps cause concern to the Prime Minister, who changed track completely from being someone who was pushing for dilution of the Land Acquisition Bill, of the Land Acquisition Act, to someone who started projecting this Jan Kalyan Ki Sarkar with welfareism at its very core. So it made Narendra Modi change track completely, and to that effect, this Congress campaign was successful. However, it did not hurt Narendra Modi electorally, nor did it give the Congress any fillip. So when you look at it from that point of view, Narendra Modi was smart enough to change track quickly before it could actually yield any results for the Congress on the ground. The Congress has tried several other ways. The demonetization in 2016, of course, became a constant stick to beat Narendra Modi with, which is fair enough given how flawed the exercise was and how it achieved nothing. But again, even that criticism, even though Rahul Gandhi kept saying this was to help Modi's crony capitalist friends, it didn't yield any results. The Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections, which happened in early 2017, very soon after demonetization, prove how little that policy measure hurt Narendra Modi, or how little Congress's sort of targeting Narendra Modi on that hurt him. You come to the Lok Sabha elections of 2019, the big slogan the Congress coined was Chaukidar Chor Hai. The Rafale deal became the big thing for the Congress to go to elections with. In every poll rally and every campaign speech, Rahul Gandhi rode with this campaign, but seems no voter was really listening. The voter wasn't quite interested. There were other things that the Congress has tried. On one hand, it has tried to flirt with soft Hindutva, whether it's talking about Rahul Gandhi's Gotra or him being a Janeudhari Brahmin. On the other hand, the Congress has displayed its secular credentials, attacking Narendra Modi and his government's anti-minority stance, whether it's on lynching, but none of these have seemed to work. Now, to make it clear, obviously an opposition party, any opposition party has every right and every reason to take on the government on multiple issues, on many issues that it feels right. However, it still needs that one issue that can form the core of its politics, that can form the core of its attack against the opponent, and that can actually bring down the opponent. Unfortunately for the Congress, that is the one issue that has remained elusive. If you look at the situation now, you see how the Congress is at times talking about the Pegasus spyware scandal, at times it's talking about the farmers' crisis, at times COVID mismanagement. and not everybody within the party is convinced about any of these. So, for instance, leaders like Shashi Tharoor feel the Pegasus scandal does not have any resonance on the ground. In fact, in an interview to my colleague Fatima Khan, he said as much. Sources tell us there are some in the Congress who believe that COVID is no longer really an issue with the second wave having receded. It doesn't quite have that kind of traction. Some others believe that Rahul Gandhi talking about farmers' issues, even if he arrives on a tractor, doesn't quite hold much, doesn't hold the voters' interest, because Narendra Modi has been able to sell this image of Rahul Gandhi as being this namdar, this entitled Zionist, to such an extent that even if he speaks for the farmer or for the poor and downtrodden, it doesn't quite resonate with the voters. There have been other issues. We know how the COVID, first wave, the lockdown, the image of migrants walking back home barefoot was something the Congress had started talking about. Or for that matter, the BJP's bulldozing of the CAA, which is the Citizenship Act, and how it cracked down on those who opposed it. The Congress has been using these issues, but if you look at elections after that, where it was in direct contest with the BJP, Assam, for instance, where CAA should have been a big issue, none of these issues have again worked. Now, just imagine if you were to offer these buffet of issues to a party which has Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister and Amit Shah as the chief election strategist, and what they would make of it, a defense deal with a whiff of irregularity, public health emergency which has been mismanaged, or something like a snooping scandal. The BJP would have gone to town with it, but the comatose Congress seems unable to use these effectively against the BJP. Now, why has it been different for states? If you look at Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal or Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi, both of whom fought elections quite literally with Narendra Modi as the face of the BJP and still managed to win despite Modi's powerful persona, despite Modi's popularity. It's because these two leaders are formidable faces in themselves. They have what it takes to take Modi down, which is mass appeal and the ability to connect with voters. Now, as I said, unfortunately for the Congress, that's missing. At the national level, we all know a leadership crisis is what the Congress has been facing for a while now, what has brought the Congress down for a while now. And which is why what it needs is that one effective issue to be able to, sort of hurt Narendra Modi, to be able to talk to the voters with. But unfortunately, there is no consensus even within the Congress as to what that issue should be. And although it has tried pretty much everything on the plate, it's unable to do that. It's unable to have an issue that can stick on Modi's Teflon image and that can hurt Narendra Modi. Party at this point just seems to be playing eeny, meeny, miny, mo, trying to choose between this buffet of issues, hoping something will work, hoping something will just, it'll be able to crack the code of defeating Narendra Modi. But this is not how it's going to happen. The Congress has to the leaders have to really put their heads together to be able to come up with something, with a theme which can truly bring down this powerful party, bring down this powerful Prime Minister, and which can truly give India's oldest political party a fillip. For more, you can log on to our website, theprint.in, to read my column, Politics.